Okay, it is now streaming. Let's give one more minute. Okay, it is now streaming. Hi, Pritesh.
Hi.
Uh, Let me share the screen for today's agenda. Here's my screen.
Yes.
Yes.
Thanks, Feynman. Okay, so let's get started. So today we have a few topics. The first one is from Vani and Toddy, but I didn't see Toddy join yet. So Vani, will you be able to talk about the first topic? Okay, Toddy just joined.
Hey, folks. How are you?
Fine, thank you, Toddy. We just started the meeting, and it is now streaming. For the first topic, Toddy, Vani, would you be able to talk about it?
Fanny, do you want to take this one or do you want me to talk about it? Okay,
Vani, maybe
okay,
mute it. Sorry, Toddy.
yeah. I can very quickly. So we discussed that in the Thursday meeting. So one of the things that we discovered is that we don't have topics for discussion every Thursday. So the proposal is that if you scroll down for the Thursday meeting, is the proposal is to change the Thursday meeting to once a month, and we need to choose whether it's the first or the second Thursday of the month. That's something up to us to decide. But the ask is to make it not so frequent because majority of the discussions are happening on the Monday meeting, and having two meetings per week for the project is too much. So we cannot keep up with the agendas for Thursday's meeting. That's the context.
Okay, thanks, Toddy. So anything to add from Vani? So maybe we can create an issue in the .github repo and tag maintainers for vote for the decision and also the new time.
Yeah, I can go and create an issue in the GitHub with the proposal. Go ahead, Feynman.
I'm wondering how does the Docker folks think about the time change or our meeting cadence change? Because the Monday series is not convenient for Docker folks to engage with us. So what their opinions? I saw sometimes David and another Docker folks may join Thursday's meeting.
That is in agreement with James and David. They agree with the proposal.
Okay.
Any comments from other folks? I think based on the recent observation that for the Thursday meeting, as Todi said, so there are few topics to be discussed, and also in some cases, Thursday meeting was skipped. So I think we can try to lower the frequency and decide a new time, and we can keep observation over time and adjust it accordingly if needed. Okay, so I think maybe Todi, you can help to create that issue to
Yeah, I'll
check
create the issue.
maintenance, yeah, for votes and also the new
Yeah.
time. Yeah, thanks, Todi. Okay, then we move to the next topic. Let me switch to the issue that Patrick created. 304. Yeah, so this issue actually is it's an update after our Notary Project specification was merged last week. There are some updates that Patrick did last week. Some of the one of the update is that some of the TSA that previously Patrick shared, for example, the TSA server listed here in this issue. Previously, Patrick shared that the response includes the root say certificate from the TSA. However, it was not. It is due to at that time the system store include this root say certificate. So at that time, it seems like the TSA responds it, but actually not. So this is one thing that Patrick want to update to the community. So for some TSA servers, as listed in the issue, they do not return the root say certificate in the TSA response. Yeah, this is one update for clarity. Another thing is that that we needed to discuss and align during the community meeting that about some experience and also what's the and about the behavior that we needed to implement to make notation secure. So as Patrick described in the issue that so there could be a man in the middle attack if the Intel chain was not validated. So with that, we think it's important to validate the Intel chain during sign and verification. And actually during notation sign images, so with the response from TSA, actually it is a notation to verify the Intel chain that received from the TSA. So that means if some TSA they do not return the root say certificate, then user should specify the trust anchor that who they want to trust. So we think that during sign, the root say certificate should be provided by the user in order for notation to validate the Intel chain from the TSA from the TSA server. So similarly to verification, when validate the timestamping signature, the entire chain should be verified. But from verification, the current workflow is that user configured the TSA root say certificate in the trust root. So that means we do not need additional method for user to specify the root say certificate they trust. We just follow the current verification flow that the root say certificate was added to the trust store for validating the entire chain from TSA server. So I think the main changes is on the notation sign part that user needed to have a way to specify the root say certificates that they trust for the TSA server. I think basically along with the new flag, TSA server flag, it could be user needed to specify another root say certificate during sign if they want to have the timestamping signature. And as Patrick described, if user want to sign with timestamp, however, the entire chain was not able to be built, the signing process will fail.
So I was suggesting to fail only if TSA doesn't provide a complete cert chain, or in all the scenarios user need to pass the root certificate.
Pradesh, can you say it again? Your voice a bit low to me.
Oh, okay, sorry. So I was suggesting that the user has to pass the root certificate in all the cases, or only in the case where TSA doesn't return a complete certificate chain.
It's always. Even if the TSA return their root cert, we cannot use it because of man-in-the-middle attack. So we have to require the signer the notation signer to provide their TSA trust anchor and build up the TSA cert chain to that trust anchor. So for signing, it's obvious. And for verification, since the verifier must configure trust policy and trust store, we should build the TSA cert chain to chain up to one of the certs in the verifier's trust store. Yeah.
Do we know how it right now works with authentic code or any other feature out there? I'm just curious here because we won't be the first one with this. We won't be the first ones facing this issue because timestamps are known to be HTTP only.
Patrick, did you try some other toolings or some investigation on this? How other tools or other solutions looks like?
I'm saying other tools are using the system cert pool directly. So due to most TSA servers are using HTTP instead of HTTPS. When we try to build this chain, we cannot use the certs in the signature only. We need the user to provide a trusted sort of root.
No, I agree there, but what's the common norm there? Like during signing they look at the system trust and make sure that the
They can
timestamps
build the chain
can
up to
reach to
the
one
trust
of
store.
the system trust store routes.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's one example. But for notation, I think we prefer to let the user provide their own trust anchor.
I am fine doing verification, but doing signing, providing a trust anchor somewhat looks wrong. But I do see a point there. Let me think
Yeah,
about
so
it. I do know that
yeah,
at least when you sign PDF, they don't verify it. But yes, doing verification, they do. So yeah, that's something new. I haven't seen tool actually verifying a certificate, time stamping certificate chain during signing time. But yes, that's it. Yeah, I mean, for time being, you can start, you can always select this requirement and make it optional later on.
so Pradesh, you think we can start with for example, the two flags during sign. One is to for you to specify the TSA server. Another one is um the trust anchor, the root certificate that they trust for the TSA server, right? We can start with these two parameters.
Yeah, for time being, we can always select them in future if we want to.
Yeah, and for these two flags, they will come together. That means if you don't want to have this counter signature, the two parameters will, yeah, they always appear together. Yeah, I think yeah, we can start with this and we can keep iterating it. I think maybe one thing we needed to do is that I remember for some tools they can they also support user to specify a different TSA. So in that case, we can check whether there are some other um, parameters or trust anchors the tool requires.
Yeah, because that's a bit unusual. I haven't seen any tool which needs a certificate during time stamping. It's just that I haven't seen any tool doing that. So it's unusual, but yeah, I mean, we can start with this and we can always make a flag optional if we need to in future.
Yeah, we can start with this and it is secure. Um, uh, and also, yes, yeah, let's do it. And we can also iterate this solution later. And I think one thing I can check is that for some other tools. I remember I did check previously, but I didn't pay attention to all the parameters. I can go and take a look.
Okay.
Okay, that's for the update, the second topic. And then there are two issues actually also related to timestamping that during specification review, Pritesh has some comments, and at that time we think it's better that we can address them separately via this issue. So let's talk about this issue one by one. Yeah, this is 302. Let me refresh it. Yeah, this is also based on some testing from Patrick that some TSA, I think it is mainly root C, right? They are using the SHA-1 algorithm. However, it is not secure. Yeah, this comment is from Patrick for this this specific TSA. And Pritesh, you have this comment. Do you want to talk about this?
I mean, this is not really related to the issue I thought it was, but basically, there's a ballot going on in CAP forum saying that TSS should stop supporting SHA-1 signing. The ballot doesn't talks about the roots certificates, but they talk about, okay, the actual timestamp signatures should no longer support SHA-1 hashes. So I think we opened this issue to know, is it allowed in CAP forum? We don't know. We haven't looked into this. The roots with SHA-1s are allowed or not, and what's the constraint around that?
Patrick or Shui, do you have any comments on this? Yeah, Patrick just mentioned, sorry, Pritesh just mentioned that the spec mentioned that the sign certificate, right? The sign should not use SHA-1, but it doesn't mention the root state certificate. I think in general, SHA-1 is not secure, and it has been some years, right?
So yes, I agree with you that is in general, SHA-1 is not secure, so we will reject any SHA-1 algorithms.
Patrick, so during your test, it is only the digit third TSA return SHA-1?
This is just an example, but I think yes. I'm not 100% sure, but I agree
Let
with
me
Shui
check.
that SHA-1 is insecure.
Um, yeah, this is the arrow from the comments. I think it is obvious SHA-1 is not secure, and this will not. I think for most organization, especially nowadays, this will not. If for using SHA-1 is not compliant, and I think it will validate most organizations' security policy. So I think we should reject SHA-1 algorithm. That notation should reject that, and we can address some issue that some user may have. We can discuss about that later, if any. But by default, we should reject it.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Yeah, I think later I will add a comment that by default we will reject SHA-1 for this issue. So with that, can we close this issue, Pritesh?
Yep.
Okay, thanks. I will do that. Another is okay, this one. Let me refresh.
So I have a question. I think I just checked DigiCert route and you're supposed to have, this is a route which I looked at, and it says the algorithm is short to 56, not SHA-1. What am I missing?
You mean the
Yeah, I mean,
uh
it's supposed our hypothesis anyway that we shouldn't it's supposed our decision should not support SHA-1. But I was just looking at DigiCert's root certificate, and it looks like the timestamping certificate uses SHA to 56.
is this route in this example that Patrick test is
Oh, let me check
So
that.
this error,
yeah, please.
I got this error from directly requesting a timestamping signature to DigiCert's TSA URL, and I got this error.
There might be two URLs. I don't know that, but let me see. DigiCert assured ID root. Yeah, looks like common name is different. Oh. Can you share which URL you used?
Sorry,
Yeah, sure.
Pritesh.
One moment.
Okay.
But anyway, we can move on because
Yeah, I think by default we should not allow SHA-1 unless there is a really valid reason from some user, but I don't think that, especially nowadays, it will not be it will definitely violate the security policy. Yeah, let's move on to the next issue. Okay, so Pritesh, if you have any findings, you can also add it in that issue about digit search.
will do.
Okay, I think this issue may take some time for discussion. It's about the revocation check control for timestamp verification. Yeah, Patrick or Pradesh, can you talk about this? So my understanding is that currently we have actually we have two kind of a revocation check. One is for the certificate that assign the container images, for example. Another revocation is for the checking is for the TSA signed counter signature, right? These are the two revocation checking, and I think they are different. And currently, from our trust policy point of view, we have the in that table, if you remember, we have a revocation checking, but that's purpose is mainly for checking the signature certificate that signed the artifacts like container images, right? The purpose is not for checking the TSA signed counter signature. At least initially, that is not the intention. But now with timestamping support, we have another chain of certificate that we need to do the revocation checking. So how should we handle that? I think this is basically the question, right, Pritesh, Patrick?
Yep.
Patrick, can you talk about your comments? I think this is a proposal, right?
Yes. So we have, I can think of two options here. One is using the override and level mechanism, like what we are doing to signature verification. But since timestamping is already controlled by authentic timestamp field overall, bringing override and level to timestamping could make the trust policy really hard to understand. So an alternative is like what we are adding a field called verify timestamp. We add one more field for timestamp verification. We can call it skip timestamp revocation check and default to false. So if verifier don't want any network round trip during verification, they can set this field to true to skip timestamp revocation check. So personally, I prefer the second option. It's easy to understand, it's straightforward, and we can start from there. Do you have any comments?
Do we have example for how will it work with override? Because there is a skip timestamp revocation check true and false. Because if what will happen if I mark skip timestamp revocation is true and I do skip for authenticity check, then it's same problem, right? I mean, do you have example how will you model it within overrides for signature verification?
No, because I don't know how to do that because the override is under signature verification level.
And this is for signature verification, right? So we should be able to do it.
So the question is, if you want to use the override and level, so what would happen if the authentic timestamp field is set to strict and timestamp for revocation is set to locked or skip?
I think it would be similar to how we are doing it for the main signature. Like basically we are saying for timestamping, we are combining integrity, authenticity, and expiry within one field. I don't like it, but so I like the problem with second one is same issue which you called out right now, and also we are now adding new fields inside signature verification. again a new concept, a new value is there, which doesn't really works with levels and overrides. And technically, revocation check is part of signature verification, so it should go inside level.
Pritesh, can you show an example if
Yes, that's what I'm trying to do. How can we model it here?
yeah, um, so we can take a look, for example, if you change the level to override. Yeah, we can do a comparison.
I did share something. I'm not sure whether that's the right way to do it, but I pinned on Zoom.
Let me copy it and I open a new window.
Yeah,
I
it,
just
this is
want
the
to
idea.
try.
It does and opens a new. It does introduce a new called timestamp revocation. And I don't like this, but
Here's my screen.
yep. So the idea is, can we introduce a new field called timestamp revocation? Just like normal revocation, it can be this new override.
Override the strict level.
With authenticity or whatever we want to say, that there are multiple values.
Authenticity, we already have this, right?
Yes.
So this one is new, right?
Yep.
Uh,
Today is something authentic timestamp. We can call it authentic timestamp revocation. It would be wordy, but that should be fine. So right now we have a field called authentic timestamp.
let me copy Patrick's one. Yeah.
The thing is, I think the only point of contention here is authentic timestamp revocation depends upon the authentic timestamp field. And technically it can have only two values. Or only one value skip. And default is, I don't know.
Shui, please.
I think we are uh, I think we have discussed this before when we are discussing about the iris settings for the timestamp. Because if you look at the specifications in the annotation project, you will see that in the signature verification, we have different columns in the table. Remember that? And we thought about that the timestamp stuff is under the sub column of authenticity. And that's why we have a field called verified timestamp field there.
Yes. But the
So
case We decided to have it separately because we want to enable and disable it.
Yes. So if we want to introduce the timestamp revocation in the override part, that means we should have a column called timestamp revocation there, so that we can have enforce log skip stuffs.
Yes, and standalone, it doesn't make sense. It will always go with authentic timestamp column, so it would be sub part of it, even if we have to introduce. Just a wild thought. Can we rely on revocation itself to start with? I mean, the thing I'm thinking what I'm thinking here is if a user wants to skip a revocation check for their certificates, probably they would be fine skipping it for the timestamp certificates also. Probably, I'm just like thinking out loud. Can we just pay back on the revocation status and use that for timestamp revocation also? Yes, it doesn't provide you with the customization, but we can always add the customization later on.
I think that also works, actually. So we can use one revocation to control. Okay, so one question here. We will support CRL in the future, right? Okay, never mind. I think it works.
So Pritesh, you mean your proposal is that we can use this revocation check that we already defined, then we override it if user want to disable the revocation check, and that means for both the certificate signed artifacts, and also the TSA certificates revocation.
Yep.
And then later, if there are some requirement on differentiate from these two scenarios, then we can consider the customization.
Yeah.
I have a question. So, if authentic timestamp is set to logged and revocation check is set to enforced, when revocation check failed, should we fail the timestamp verification? I think no, right? Because authentic timestamp is set to log.
Yeah, that's also introduced a yep, I agree there, but then again it will cause confusion.
It's a little bit, yeah, it's a little bit difficult to understand.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I am fine with the second approach. There is no other for solution I can think of.
Sorry, Pritesh, can you say that again?
I'm fine with the second approach which you have. There is no other solution I can think of. I mean,
Oh, okay. So adding the skip
yep.
the skip field. Okay.
Because enforce log doesn't really make sense for the value. even if we add a new subsection here called authentic timestamp revocation, the
Yeah.
logged while doesn't make sense for it or
Yeah.
enforced because they are determined from authentic timestamp. The only thing is value which makes sense is skip. Yeah.
Okay, so that means we keep this table as it is, and we also didn't add more scope for this revocation check. It is still for checking the certificate signed artifacts. And in the meantime, we can use additional parameter for skip the revocation checking for timestamping.
Yeah, can you please tag Milind on this issue since he worked mostly on policy, if he has some better idea.
Okay, can you, yeah, please talk with Meaning
Yep.
about this. And we have a time urgency, so it's better that Meaning can provide his feedback as soon as he can. And I think this is also
Yep.
related to our last topic because so previously we planned the beta release by end of June. So basically this week, right? So it seems that we don't have the major PRs in. So even we want to cut a beta 1 release, the timestamping, block stamping, they won't work, right? So we need to decide a new time. And this is my proposal. And also we need to speed up the PR reviewing. So back to the previous issue. So Pritesh, please help to
Yep.
discuss this with Meaning as well as you can. And you can just ask Meaning to comment, or you have some decision, you can just comment on that issue so that we can discuss offline to speed up. Okay, I saw your thumbs up. So then we move to the last topic. I just talk a bit about it. So we need to have a new time. So I would like to see opinions from community whether it is reasonable. So how can we do that as nation? So we can think about what is the ongoing work. So for timestamping, so I see currently we have two PRs. One is TSP client go. This can be reviewed again. And Patrick have this new PR in Kogo. I think there will be two PRs, one for notation Go, one for notation CI, right, Patrick? So in total, 4 PRs.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, in total, 4 PRs for timestamping feature to meet a beta 1 quality, a beta quality. I think for block signing, this one, Pritesh, you asked review last week. Patrick provided the comments. So maybe Patrick needed to also take a look at the feedback that's from Pritesh. So I think there are more PRs, right, Pritesh?
Yes.
So can you estimate how many left?
I mean, there will be 3 more PRs. Let me share. I will share it offline. But yes, we need to
3.
merge this before we can work on other 2 to verify
Okay.
the job. Yeah.
So one, this one, and there will be 3 more,
3
right?
more. Yes. For sign,
3
inspect,
more.
and verify. Yeah.
So totally for block signing, we have 4. For
Yep.
timestamping, similar, we also have 4. So totally 8 PRs to meet the beta quality. For the beta quality, I mean that we have majority work done. So there could be some corner case, but we can address later. But for the beta one, we should have the majority code merged, and normally there should be no I mean no big issue for the beta quality. So totally 8 PRs, but based on our current PR review speed, so I don't think we can complete 8 PRs in. So my proposal is 3 weeks, and we code freeze in next 2 weeks. So 8 PRs in 2 weeks. Do you think it's reasonable? And we may need to maybe have some others for help to speed up this PR review. Pradesh, let me check whether Vani is still in the meeting. Yes, Vani.
Vani is there.
Yeah, we have 8 PRs for beta 1. So if we want to release, for example, the new proposal in July 19, so this week is basically for releasing, and based on our previous releasing lead time, we at least need 1 week for releasing it. If no some other unexpected thing happened. So last time is the GitHub DCO issue. So if no unexpected issues, so we need at least 1 week for release. And that means we need to have the code freezing, code ready on July 16. So basically means the 2 weeks, and we have 8 PRs. So that means we need to have 2 PRs reviewed each week, reviewed and merged each week. So it sounds not possible, right?
Yep, highly unlikely.
Can we, because from our side, we have Patrick Junjie and also Shui for review, and maybe from Wendy, you can comment, you can add more people for review PRs from our side so that we can speed up.
I see internally what can be done. Yeah.
Yeah. So please, yeah, please let us know as soon as you can. Because if we delay the beta, it means that the stable release will be delayed, right? So previously we communicated with security audit team that we will start the security audit mid-September. They needed to reserve some resource by that time. And this just for 1.2. We have 1.3, some features in 1.3, for example, the CRL is also in the scope. So if we delete 1.2, so probably 1.3, then again the security audit. Yeah, I just want to check. Yeah, so from one side, Wani, you can help to find other resource, for example, Rakesh. Yeah, I just saw Pritesh dropped. I want to ask a question for Pritesh whether he can secure his time in next 2 weeks for PR reviewing.
Yeah, I can give you a couple of PRs, and I can talk, me and Vani can discuss internally if we can get Rakesh time or someone else time to review.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, so let's prioritize the PR reviewing in the next 2 weeks, and Randy, please help to maybe find the Rakesh for support. Okay. Yeah. saw your comments in the chat. So please let us know whether Rakesh is available. So then we can think about the new timeline. So we can we can do some observation this week to see whether we have a good progress on the PR reviewing. Otherwise, the new timeline we need to find a more reasonable timeline. So by now, I think we can think about tentative July 19th, which means 3 weeks from now. I think it is 3 weeks, right? Yeah, including this. Okay, so including this week, it will be 3 weeks for coding and 1 week for releasing. Basically, 1 month. I think it's yeah, it's what we can do the best for now. So let's keep watching the PR review speed and see whether we need to adjust it later. But I am reluctant to move the data again because once we miss this target date, we will probably miss the security audit date as well. Okay, so Wendy, please contact me offline if needed for additional resource. So anything else from?
Sure.
Okay, anything else from any participants? We just have 1 minute. Yeah, if no, we can end this meeting. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Thank you, Yi. Thank you, everyone.
See you, folks.
Yeah, bye.